In the last session, we have seen how to pass arrays to the methods, how to pass multiple parameters to a method. All these are known as call by value. Okay. Now, today we will be seeing the call by reference. So, call by reference means what? Call by reference is basically in C, C++, we were using pointers, right? So, call by reference. In C, C++ language, we were using pointers, right? So using pointers are nothing but we are using actual address of that value, right? So wherever you are going to save the data, that address is we were actually passing as a pointer, or we are saving that as a pointer. So it always points to a particular variable value. Okay. So these pointers, whenever you want to pass the address of that particular value or the variable, then we use the concept call by reference. Call by reference is always means to the address of that particular variable. Okay, so passing address of the particular variable to a method is known as call by reference. But in Java, as Java doesn't support pointers, right? Java does not support pointers. Therefore, call by reference is not supported in Java. Okay, call by reference is not supported in Java. Okay. So all the methods, wherever you are passing the values, always the methods in Java are call by value methods. Okay. So in most probably in interview, call by value and call by difference will be asked, and you may get asked related to the call by reference also. So you need to understand that call by reference is always related to the pointers, and in C or C++ language, the pointers are supported. We are passing, instead of the variable values, we were passing the pointers. Pointers are always denoted using star. Okay. So instead of this double D value, we were using address of that particular variable, and that is why we are directly referring that variable address. Okay, and we are not directly copying the value as it is here. Okay, that is why call by reference always uses pointer, and Java does not support pointers. That is why call by reference is not supported in Java. Clear? So these are two concepts, call by value and call by reference. Always the method calls will be call by value in Java. Okay. So here we have seen different ways to declare the methods, array to a method, multiple parameters to a method. Now we will see one more example where we will pass objects of any class to a method. Okay. To perform that example, we will create one class. So class, I will be using swapping name for the class, and this example is for object to a method. Include the main method. So here we will create one more class. Okay, that class is suppose swap. This class has two numbers, two instance variables, n1 and int n2. Okay, this is only the class where we are setting the values. Now I want to set the values to this n1 variable and n2 variable of this class swap. These are instance variables. Okay. We have not yet seen the constructor concept, and the getter setter concepts also. So I'm not adding all those things here. We will be using only this part. Now we will generate the toString method. We have already seen the toString method. So we can generate the toString method also. Instead of writing it, you can go to the source, right click, go to the source and generate the toString here. So your toString method will be generated with the fields N1 and N2. You can change anything if you want here. Okay. The default code style is concatenation. I want concatenated values itself. So this is a default toString method, which is generated from the object class. Okay. Now we will create two objects of this swap method. Okay. The swap will have one method also to perform the swapping. Instance methods. First method, void swap numbers is the name of the method. Okay. Here we are going to pass directly the object of the swap class. You can write this this is an instance method of swap class. Okay. So this method, you can pass the object to this particular method also. You don't need to pass these two variables. If you want to pass these two variables in this way, integer n, integer l, okay? So हम यहाँ पे we are passing two different variables, but instead of this, all these two values we are saving here. हम यहाँ पे save कर रहे हैं. This swap object will have all these values, right? So instead of passing these variables separately, you can create one object of it and pass to this method also. Okay, because these variable values will be same. Swap this. Now we will perform the swap operation. So swapping, we are using the third temporary variable to swap. Now we have swap variable object S has N1 and N2 its own copy, right? So whatever object we are going to get here as a pass by value or call by value, that object will have these two instance variables N1 and N2. So N1 variable value and N2 variable value will be there in the data object S. So okay. So what we want to do? We want to use temporary variable. This int temp I have declared. So we will directly use temporary variable to store first value of N1 variable into this temp variable. These are all are integer type, right? We want to swap the values. That means suppose N1 has 60 value and N2 has 100 value. Then we want to swap. After swap, the value should be N1 should have 100 value and N2 should have 60 value. Okay. So this is actually the swapping program. And this swapping program we are going to perform using the third temporary variable. So we are basically copying the data from S objects N1 variable into this temporary variable. Now into this S objects N1 variable, we will be copying N2 variable value. Okay. So all these are objects. So we have to access those objects variables. Okay. So that's why we want to use this object itself. You cannot directly use N1 and N2 here. N1 is equals to S dot N2 variable value. We are copying into N1 location. Okay. N1 location. Now at the end, into this N2 location, we want to copy this temporary variable value. So S dot N2 is equals to 10. So this is swap we have done for the details. So this toString method you can we will use this toString method to display the swap object itself. Okay, this is the one method where we are passing this object as a value to swap numbers method. Okay, or if you want to perform the operation directly on these variables, you can create another instance method like swapping with no parameters. Okay, and you can perform this integer temp is equals to n2, sorry, n1, n1 is equals to n2, and n2 is equals to 10. If you are performing in this way, then all the actual swap related whatever the variables are there, that gets used. ठीक है, तो swap object के ये दो variables है, ये भी आप directly use कर सकते हो, या फिर आप swap object को another object भी pass कर सकते हो. And we are here in this example, we are actually swapping the values of this swap object. ठीक है, अगर ये मेथड इंस्टेंस मेथड इस क्लास में नहीं रखना है, नो प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन रिमूव दैट फ्रॉम हियर एंड यू कैन क्रिएट दैट मेथड हियर आल्सो. ठीक है, बिकॉज वी आर बेसिकली पासिंग द ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ एनी क्लास टू दिस मेथड. ठीक है, तो आप ऑब्जेक्ट कहीं से भी पास कर सकते हैं. क्लियर? नाउ वी विल कॉल दिस मेथड बाय पासिंग द वैल्यूज. ओके, सो बेसिकली वी विल क्रिएट class swap object swap s1 is equals to new swap. Okay, now this class has a default accessibility. We are not specifying anything, that means default accessibility. Right, default accessibility है. This class swap and this public class swapping object to method both are saved inside the single Java file. That is, this public class name method is we have given, okay, to the Java file. So to set the values to this S1 object for N1 and N2, these are also with the default accessibility. That means we can access these variables also, as these are not private variables. So we can access these variables also to set the values. We will directly access it. S1.n1 is equals to, I'm setting the value, same values I am setting 60, and S1.s2 is equals, sorry, n2 is equals to 100 value. Okay, now we will perform swap operation. Now here I will call the swapping method where these values get swapped directly by object s1.swapping. I'm calling, and we have generated the toString method so that we can get the output directly whenever you are using system.out.println and the object reference name. You will get whatever written here in this toString method, because we are actually using toString method for getting the string representation of object. ठीक है, string representation object का लेने के लिए हम toString method generate करते हैं, and यहाँ पे हमने वही toString method object के values display करने के लिए use किए हैं. यहाँ पे swapping method को call किया है, that means it is actually using these set values of the S1 object itself. ठीक है, we'll execute this. So you can see N1 and N2 values are swapped. Okay, agar before swapping you want to check, you can use the system.out.println statement. Before swapping, S1 object, and here also I will add the statement after swapping. Okay, we'll execute again. So before swapping, N1 has the value 60 and N2 was 100. After swapping, this 100 is swapped with in the n1 variable value, and n2 variable will have the 60 value. Okay, so this, whenever you are setting the instance variable values, these values are get swapped using this directly using this swapping method. This is another method where we have passed the object of this particular swap class. You can use this method also. You can write that anywhere else also, and you can use that way also. So I am showing you only this part where you can pass how to pass object of any class to a method. Okay. Now this is again the instance method of this swapping object to method class. So we have to create object of this swapping object to method. I'm using anonymous object, and I will be calling directly the swap numbers. Okay. Now to the swap numbers, we have to pass the object. Okay. So we will create one object, or you can create the object here. Swap s is equals to new swap. You can use the above object also, but I am showing you new object. So we will set the values to this n1 variable value will be this, and s dot n2 variable value will be this. Okay, so we are swapping the numbers directly. I'm calling a method, so we will display this before swapping values of s object, and after swapping values of s object. We will see here. Okay, so basically we can create this object and we can pass directly that object to method call. Okay, so यहाँ पे भी actual the method gets called as a call by value itself. It will create a separate object. It will copy everything from this object to this object. Okay, and then it will get passed. So basically this object we are passing here, that object memory allocated will be different. So this is nothing but again the call by value with objects. So you can see, so before swapping the values of n1 and n2, you can check here also. Okay, n1 and n2, and after swapping the value is exchanged or swapped correctly. N1 will have the n2 variables value and n2 will have the n1 variable value. Okay, so both methods are working correctly. You can use directly, you can perform directly swap operation on instance variables also, or you can use different method where you can pass the object also. ठीक है, ये सिर्फ एग्जांपल मैंने दोनों वे से आपको दिखाया है. सिर्फ कौन सा भी वे आप यूज कर सकते हो, डायरेक्टली मेथड भी लिख सकते हो, नो इशू विद दैट. आई जस्ट वांट टू शो यू द हाउ टू पास ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ एनी क्लास टू अ मेथड. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे हमने ऑब्जेक्ट पास किया है. वी हैव क्रिएटेड वन रेफरेंस. वी आर नॉट यूजिंग न्यू कीवर्ड हियर to initialize this object. Okay, but whenever you are calling a method, you have to pass initialized object here. ठीक है, जब आपका initialized object है new keyword के साथ, वही object आप यहाँ पे pass कर सकते हो method को. And this method passed object variable values will get copied to this object. ठीक है, reference. This is nothing but a reference of the swap. ठीक है, तो ये reference use करेगा and the swap operation will perform on the same object. ठीक है, तो उसी object पे हम swapping operation perform करते हैं. Clear? Any doubt? Understand how to pass object to a method? Go through this example once. Let me know if you have any doubts.
So we are passing the integers as the parameters, and while we are printing it, we are using the string, right? That swap string.
We are not passing integer parameters.
No, we are setting the integer parameters in the swapping method, and for swapping int temp, like this, we
This
are
one.
just n1 equal to n2 and n2 equal to temp. So these are the integer values. But
Yes,
only
because
while printing, we are printing the string.
this one.
Yes, yes.
The values will be concatenated. No? So these are values will be in the integer format itself, but the string method always returns string format of the object representation. Okay, so if you have any other type of the variables
Data type.
that get also output into string itself, because toString method always returns string data.
String. Okay. But again, if I'm having different kind of data types, then again I have to write a separate swapping object method. Because
Yes,
currently it is there for int.
yes, this is for integer. If you are changing
Correct.
it to double, then you can change the only you need to change the data type of this
Correct. Temp.
temp variable.
Yeah.
Nothing will other thing will not be changed. Everything will be same, because by default we are setting the data here itself,
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
and we are performing the operation directly on the instance variables. That means each object will have its own copy of these two n1 and n2 variables. Everyone has the separate copy. So you can create multiple objects and you can perform the swap operations in multiple objects also. The values will not get changed. You can see here, this S1 object has the different values, S object will have the different values. Here, instead of this swap numbers method, if you are calling the swapping method, so it will also work in the same way, because the S objects and S1 objects are different, and their N1 and N2 variable are their own variables. Values will be saved according to the object itself. They will have it their own copy. Understood? Clear, everyone? Shall we go ahead? Okay. So up till here, anyone has any doubt?
So overall in the Java, we can pass array as a parameter, right? In the function, even the function as a parameter, even objects also we can send it, right?
We have not
Yes.
passing the function as a parameter. We are only sending passing the values of any variables basically. Okay, you can pass arrays.
Correct.
You can pass multiple parameters. Okay.
Correct.
Different types of parameters.
Yes.
Or you can pass object
Of
any class.
Correct. Yes.
A method. We
Yes.
are not passing method
Functions
as a parameter here.
Okay.
Okay, this is all about methods. So I think method part is completed now. If anyone has any doubt in method declarations, method definitions, then you can always ask. Now we are going forward with we have seen arrays, right? We have seen arrays we have created different types of array where we are storing same type of data. We were storing same type of data. Now, here we are going to see the next concept, that is object array. Okay, so we will create, I will create another package. It is nothing but a sub package. Okay, so whenever you want to create a sub package, you have to use dot operator in the main package, use the dot. After that, give the name of the next package, that is mean by subfolder basically. So here I am using object array. Okay. So here in the module 8, this sub package is created. That means subfolder is created. In this subfolder, in sub package, we are creating a class So here we will create book class. Okay, book class. This is kind of a mini project, you can say. We are going to create the object array of all the books data will get stored into this book class. Okay, so this book class will only have, this is student class, have only some variables, constructors, and some toString method and its own instance methods also, behavior also, right? In a similar type as the student class we have created, in a similar type, we are going to create the book. We have to describe a book. How will you describe a book? Can you identify the properties of any book? Identify the properties of any book.
Book ID, book name, book author name.
Correct. So we will use book ID, then book name, author, price, right? That's it for now. I am using only these few properties. You can add any other properties if you want. Now we will give some data types to this. So book ID, you can use integer or string data type for the book ID as per your requirement. I am using integer. Book name will always have in the string format, right? So we will be using string data type for book name. Author name will also in the string format. So we will be using string for author. For price, we will use double data type. Okay. Now, this is a basic book class we have created. Now we have to create two constructors also. Okay, so constructor part we will add later once we learn the constructor. Now we want the string representation of this book object. Therefore, we can generate in the refactor, in the source, we will generate the toString method. Okay, so I have generated the toString method. I am adding that at the end. So we have to add some constructors, some getter setter methods also. Okay, these two parts we will add later when we learn this thing. This is kind of a mini project. Okay, इसमें हम पूरा एक ऑब्जेक्ट एरे क्रिएट करेंगे एंड उस पे ऑल ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म करेंगे. वो कैसे करना है दैट वी विल ऐड वंस वी लर्न. जो जो टॉपिक हमने पढ़ा है उसके बेसिस पे हम उसमें ऐड करते जाएंगे. ठीक है, जो रिक्वायर्ड है उतना ही. सो हियर वी हैव क्रिएटेड दिस बुक क्लास. जो हमने ऑलरेडी स्टूडेंट क्लास देखा था वैसे ही बुक क्लास हमने क्रिएट किया. वी हैव आइडेंटिफाइड द प्रॉपर्टीज. वी हैव जनरेटेड द toString मेथड. दिस toString मेथड इज ओनली फॉर string representation of book object. ठीक है, we will add this part later. Now we'll create one more class here. Name of the class I am giving is book demo, and this class will have main method to perform all the operations. Okay, so first of all, here we are going to perform the operations like create, retrieve, update, delete. ठीक है, all these operations are known as CRUD operations. All these operations are known as CRUD operations, and all these operations we are going to perform on object array. Okay, these operations we are going to perform on object array. So these CRUD operations, how to perform the CRUD operations on the object array, that we will see one by one. First of all, we will see how to create the object array. Normal array अगर आपको create करना है, then we use the data type, the name of the array equal to new, then again the data type, and you specify the size of that particular array, right? So in a similar way, if I want to create multiple objects of book class, if I want to create multiple objects of book class and store that in a one place, okay, or under one name, so you can create the array of books, okay, instead of creating multiple objects like book B1, book B2, okay. In this way, instead of creating multiple objects of book class, you can create in a similar manner, you can create array of the objects of this book class, and you can give a single name to it. You can store the multiple book objects into it as per the size given, and you can store it under one name, okay. So this can get replaced with object array, okay, or array of objects also you can say. The concept is array of objects or object array, okay. So this array of objects or object array is nothing but we are creating the array of any particular class objects, okay. So here we are using book class, whose objects you want to store, that name of the class you want to use, okay. So book, then the name of the array, see like this. So I'm using here book array as the name. Then the square brackets equal to new. Here we were using data type. So here type of this object will become book, okay. Type will become book. Here we are using integer, character, double, etc. String. But यहाँ पे book will be the type of this book array object, okay. Sorry, array. Here after new keyword, again you have to use book itself, because we are going to store object of this book class, right? And here in the square bracket, you have to mention the size of the array. So I'm using here 5 itself. Okay, so same जैसे previously हमने different arrays declare किए थे, in a same manner, we are storing this or creating this object. So now one way you can use this, so book object you can create B1 new book, B1 dot book ID is equals to 100, B1 dot book name is equals to Java Technologies, B1 dot author is equals to XYZ, ठीक है, कुछ भी नाम आप दे दो. B1 dot price is equals to, I'm giving some value. ठीक है, now this book B1 object is created, and now you want to store, then you can store this B1 object into book array. So how to store? You know that arrays works on indexes. So we will storing this directly into book array of 0th index. ठीक है, I am giving the value directly. ठीक है, different ways I am showing you. तो यहाँ पे हम डिफरेंट वेज में डेटा स्टोर कर सकते हैं एरे में, वो मैं बता रही हूँ. दिस इज द फर्स्ट वे. यू कैन क्रिएट ऑब्जेक्ट, यू कैन असाइन ऑल द वैल्यूज, एंड you can give the index value of the array and store that object directly into that index. ठीक है, so this 0 index पे ये B1 object store हो जाएगा. Now another way of storing the data directly into this book array is using constructors. Okay, so we will use, or we will see that part once we learn the constructor part, and then we will come back to this example performing the next operation. We have created the first operation, we have completed, that is create. Retrieve, update, delete operations we will perform once we learn the constructor part. Okay, so understand that how to create an array of object or object array, performing all the operations on the array, object array, that we will see. But first of all, do you understand that how to create the object array? Anyone has any doubt in this? किसी को कुछ doubt है? Understood how to create? Same manner when we were creating the different arrays, same manner में आपको create करना है. Only the difference here is you have to give the name of the class whose array you want to create. Clear? So we will come back to this example later to perform the next operations. I hope everyone understood the concept of object array.
Yeah, actually we are having int ARR of int 5. So that means totally 5 books we can store it.
This is for integer. This we are using for
Books.
5 objects of the book class.
Books. So 5 books information I can store it maximum.
Yes, that means
Okay,
5
okay.
objects of book
So
class.
book B1, B2, B3 can be assigned to different indexes. And again, I can extract B1 dot book one book ID, B1 dot book name, like that rest of the classes, objects.
Yes, in a similar
Okay.
manner, we will be saving data on the
Okay.
different indexes.
Okay, okay.
This is hard-coded values. We will see the user input values also, as well as different ways to directly store the data at the index value also. In this way, we can use the constructors. So when we learn the constructor, I will show you the another way. And the user input also. Okay? Now the next concept is method overloading. This is a part of polymorphism concept. We have seen what is polymorphism. Polymorphism is nothing but one thing in different or multiple forms, right? So method overloading is also known as compile time polymorphism. Okay, this is a compile time polymorphism. We can achieve the compile time polymorphism using method overloading and constructor overloading also. Okay, so method overloading concept we are going to see here, as we have just seen all the method declaration ways. So in the method overloading, what is nothing? The method overloading is nothing but we are creating multiple methods with the same name. Okay, only the difference will be different type signatures. Okay, same name but different type signatures. When you are creating the methods with the same name but different type signatures, type signature means always the number of parameters, return type of the method, data types will be different. Okay, that is known as the different type signature, but the name of the method will be same. You can create n number of methods with the same name in a same class, okay, same class. So this will the compiler will decide at the compilation time itself according to the parameters you have passed or the data you have passed. According to that, which method should get executed, that the compiler will solve at the compile time itself. That's why this is known as compile time polymorphism, and this concept is known as method overloading. ठीक है, so जो भी method आप कितने भी methods एक class में बना सकते हो with the same name, but only the different type signatures. Type signatures always means return type, number of parameters, data types of that parameters will be different. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे matching सिग्नेचर जो भी मिलता है, जो आपने वैल्यूज पास किए हैं, उसके बेसिस के ऊपर कंपाइलर कंपाइलेशन टाइम पे डिसाइड करता है कि कौन सी मेथड कॉल होनी चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाई दिस मेथड ओवरलोडिंग कंसेप्ट इज नोन एज कंपाइल टाइम पॉलीमॉर्फिज्म एंड दिस कंसेप्ट इज नोन एज मेथड ओवरलोडिंग. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जांपल हियर add method without parameters, add int add method, the return type is different, add method, name of the method is same with one parameter which is of integer type. Public int method, again return type is integer, name of the method is same with two different parameters of integer type. Okay, so these are a few examples. We will directly see into the program. I'll create a class, method overloading, example. Again, we'll create the main method into this class. We'll create a multiple methods here. Okay, in the same class, you can create multiple methods. So add method ही हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे. ठीक है, मेथड ओवरलोडिंग के लिए add मेथड ही देखेंगे. So first method, I am creating public int add, which returns integer value and which is taking one parameter as input. Okay, so it returns, I am adding the same value. Okay, add method hai, so I am adding same value and returning that value. Another method with the public return type is same integer. Name of the method will be again same. I am passing two parameters of double type, double A, double B. And it will return the addition of this A plus B. Now you can understand that here we have seen the typecasting concept, right? We are using the integer as a return type and we are calculating addition of two double values. So it will give you error. You need to cast it into integer. But instead of that, we will change the return type of this method itself to double. Okay? So one method we have created with one parameter. We have created another method with two parameters. Okay? रिटर्न टाइप रिलेटेड कुछ भी चेंज कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. यहाँ पे टाइप सिग्नेचर ऑलवेज रिलेटेड टू दिस पैरामीटर्स. ठीक है, यहाँ पे एक सिंगल पैरामीटर दिया है, यहाँ पे दो पैरामीटर्स पास किए हैं. यू कैन नॉट क्रिएट अनदर मेथड add with integer type of two parameters. You cannot create it because this type signature is already okay. This you can use same type of values you cannot return. ठीक है, यहाँ पे return type भी अलग है and data type भी अलग है इन दोनों variables का. ठीक है, so this is also allowed. You cannot use the double and double same type of type signature you cannot use. ठीक है, मतलब ये सेम अगर आप फिर से क्रिएट करना चाहते हो तो वो नहीं होगा, डुप्लीकेट एरर आपको दिखेगा. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे एक टाइम हम एक ही करेंगे. नाउ फॉर दिस you can change the data types to int and double also. ठीक है, return type will be double itself. If you want to use without parameter also you can create. It will be void method and it will not have any return statement. Right? We will use integer A is equals to 50, B is equals to 60, and we will display that addition here, system without the println. Addition is equals to A plus B. ठीक है, okay. Calculation करना है, so you have to use brackets. Otherwise, it will be used as a concatenation. Okay, so these are different type signatures we have used. The name of the method is same. Everywhere we have used the same method name. Only the type signatures is different. And we will use array also as an input to this integer array of this also you can use. Return sum. We will create one sum variable to do the addition of all the numbers using for loop. Sum, we are using shorthand operator, ARR of I. So we are this program is, again you can see, this program is nothing but we are calculating sum of array elements. Okay, this program is nothing but the sum of array elements. So these all different types of add methods you can create. Okay, the name of the method is same. We are only changing the parameters, that means type signatures. Now we will call these. All these are instance methods. So we have to create the object of this method overloading class. Method overloading example is equals to new. Now we will call one by one method. So first I will call the default, that is without parameter method. So when you call the method without parameter, the compiler will be able to understand that no parameter is passed. That means the compiler needs to call this method, void method, which is not returning anything. So this gets resolved at the compile time itself according to the parameters passed. Now m dot add, here I am passing the value 53. This method returns some value, right? So you can use a variable to store that value, or you can directly use the system.out.println statement to display the values. So what we will do, we will create one variable. Now this add method with the single parameter, it returns integer value, right? So we have to use one integer value itself to store this data. So first we will display system.out.println addition using add with int a. I am specifically writing this type signature so that you will understand कि कौन से इसका output है, ठीक है? So this is the first method call. First method call is without parameter. Second method call with single parameter. Third method call m dot add with two integer parameters. Okay, now here if we pass the integer values, then this will get called by integer parameter values. जहाँ पे है वो method call होगा. This method is also returning int value. So we will be using the same variable to store the data, and we will display the output of this addition. Addition using int a comma int b. Okay. Now next method call m dot add. Now here we have one integer and one double value. If you pass here 60, or I will change the value to 90, and again instead of double value you pass the 63 value itself. ठीक है, अगर ये आपने किया तो this will always, the compiler will always call to a method where two integer are as a parameters, right? ये integer parameters को ही call करेगा because this is not a double value. So if you want to make this call to a double parameter method, then you have to make this value as a double itself. You can add a 0 also, but you have to use the double value at the end. So compiler will understand that based on the value given, the method should get called, that is with the double parameter, right? Sequence of the values matters always. Okay. Now this method returns double value. So we will use double variable to store this, and we will display the addition using int a and double b is d variable. Okay. That is why we say that based on the parameters you are passing, compiler will resolve which method to call. ठीक है, compiler compile time पे ही समझ resolve कर लेगा कि कौन सा method call करना है. Now again, if m dot add, now I want to pass double values for both the parameters should be double. If I am not giving any point values, then it will by default calls the integer method. Okay. So this also return double data. So we will be using this double A, double B. Okay. And last one is here we can pass the array also. So here for array, sorry, we have used array. So we have to create one array. And then we can pass that array to a method. Okay. This method returns again the integer. So we will be using the same variable name add, and we will display the output addition using add method with integer array as a input. Okay, so you can see here we are using based on the different values you are passing to the method, the compiler will resolve which method to call. So you can see we are getting the output 110, 106, 7470 and all these things. ठीक है, so अगर यहाँ पे आपने point नहीं दिया तो वो by default integer वाला method call करेगा. Clear? Understand this method overloading concept? Any doubt? Yes, anyone? Any doubt? The real-time example for method overloading in Java or in any way, you can see the payment options. Whenever you are trying to pay, you can see the various payment options, right? Like credit card, debit card, cash on delivery, etc. So e-commerce website has these different options. So they have only overloaded payment methods. So you can say that this is a real-time example for overloading. Payment will be done in the same manner. Only the thing is payment options are different, right? Clear, everyone? Any doubt in the method overloading concept? I hope everyone understood this.
Method name is same, but return type can be different, as well as the parameters can be different.
Mostly parameters.
Okay.
Return type is can be same, but mostly number of parameters. Data types of parameters should be different.
Okay. Because here in this example, int double, so that means it can entertain different kind of return types also.
Yes, different types, same types, everything you can use. Only the thing here is the number of parameters and the data type of the parameters should be different for the method.
Correct.
Okay, method name should be same, and all these should be inside of one class. This is a compile time polymorphism. This is should be inside the one class. This gets resolved at the compile time itself by the compiler. Okay. This is the concept of polymorphism. Okay, then I think everyone understood this concept, method overloading. We have completed the method overloading concept with this example itself. If you have any doubt, then you can note it down and you can ask in the next session also. So today we will end our session with this example itself. And in the next session, we will start the constructor part and constructor overloading concepts also. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye. You may leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Ma'am, you may end the session. Okay, everyone, I will share the whatever the programs we have completed in the sessions that I will share in the WhatsApp itself, so that you can go through the programs while learning the previous topics. Ma'am, you can end the session.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can I wind up the session, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.